Hello, Ben.
Hey,
How are you doing?
doing great. How are you?
Good, thank you. How was your seminar in Chicago this weekend?
Oh, it was wonderful. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. How many has this been?
Oh, it's my 7th seminar.
Oh my gosh, that's so much dedication.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, you are definitely gonna be a great chiropractor, Ben.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'm really glad you came in today because we have got the results of your X-ray analysis, your exam findings, and we have came up with a plan. So today our main goal is to go over all of that with you, so you can understand exactly what's going on, understand what we can do to help you out, and also answer any questions that you may have.
Okay.
All right, sounds good to you?
Yeah, sounds great.
Good. But before we get into that, I just want to go over the history one more time, so I have everything down correct. And sometimes I just cannot read my own handwriting. Okay, Ben?
Okay.
Right. And you said you were born in 1992.
Yes.
And you said your main complaint is your upper thoracic pain.
Yes.
And you said this pain is 3 out of 10 most of the time and 5 out of 10 as worst.
Yeah.
And you said this is preventing you from practicing chiropractic comfortably and giving you pain when you're driving home from Hayward to Los Angeles.
Yes.
And you said you wanted a more of a long-term correction than a short-term fix.
Yes.
Got it. So Ben, before we get into exactly what's going on with you, I do want to just let you know that we want to show you what's normal and versus what's abnormal.
Okay.
And then we're gonna have your X-rays, your exam results over here on screen, and you're gonna compare to what's normal, and you tell us, and we're gonna share with you exactly what's going on with your body.
Okay.
All right. But first, your diagnosis is aberrant posture upper cross syndrome.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that term?
Not really.
Okay, that's fine because at the end of our meeting today, you'll have a much better understanding of what's going on with you. Okay. So Ben, I want to show you what a normal X-ray will look like. Here is a normal X-ray. This is the front, and that is the back. First, this is the neck X-ray. We're looking at your neck from the side, and you actually should have a great curve like that way.
Okay.
Also, we're looking at the bones. The bones needs to be nice and squared.
Okay.
Also, the space in between these bones, we call that the disc.
Okay.
The disc should also be nicely spaced out. The disc here should be close to the disc space above and below.
Okay.
However, if we had any kind of trauma to our body, such as car accident, slip or fall, or somebody shove you from behind while you're playing basketball, it starts a process called spinal degeneration. In phase 1 of degeneration, that's when you at the acute phase of the trauma, or at the initial phase of the trauma, is we have the straining of this neck curve. If we don't do anything here, we're going to phase 2. In phase 2, we're going to start to have the formation of the bone spur, okay, as well as the thinning of that disc we're talking about.
Okay.
We don't do anything in phase 2, we're going to phase 3. In phase 3, we can see the formation of bone spurs and totally loss of this disc space. And this is when the pain really started kicking, okay? And if we don't do anything here, we're going to phase 4, which is not on here because at phase 4, patients typically have a lot of pain, and there's not much we can do about it. We typically have to refer out for service on that, and it represents a very low quality of life. Does that make sense to you? Any questions here?
No.
So Ben, here is your X-ray on the left. By looking at this, comparing to this, tell me where on the phase of spinal degeneration you think you're at.
I think I'm in probably phase 1 going into phase 2.
That is correct. You are solid phase 1 going into phase 2. How about the structure and the curve of your neck?
It looks really straight. It looks like it could even be starting to go forward a little bit.
Right. You're correct. Your neck is actually really straight. And you might be wondering to what degree is it really straight, right? What is the exact curve of my neck? We in our office, we utilize a state-of-the-art technology called posture rate, in which we're gonna measure the exact curve of your neck, so that way you understand where you're at, and afterwards in the reevaluation, we can see how much we can improve objectively. And upon the examination, all right, this is the results of your posturing. On the left side is what normal neck curve should look like. It should be negative 42 degrees. And the green line right here represents that.
Okay.
Here on the right side is your neck again, and the red line here represents the curve of your neck, and again, it's comparing with that green line.
Okay.
And the results shows that your head is actually positioned 7.4 millimeters forward, like you were thinking. And your neck curve is measured 8.4 degrees, and it should be again negative 42 degrees, which means you have lost 120% of your neck.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, obviously we have some good news and bad news for you. Okay, the bad news for you is that your neck is obviously not in the best of the shape, and you probably know that, and that's why you're here. But the good news is that you're still very young, and it is very correctable. It's just a matter of going in and doing something about it. And what we need to do at this point is correct what we found, which is called a subluxation. Are you familiar with the word subluxation?
Not really.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna give you a brief introduction of what that is, okay? Really quick. The brain controls everything in our body.
Okay.
It does up and sending message down spinal cord out to the nerves to every single organ tissue cell in our body. And this nervous system is consistent with our brain, protecting our skull, and the spinal cord, which is housed and protected by our spine. However, if we had a trauma, car accident, cerebral falls, where somebody shoved you from behind in basketball, these spinal bones can actually move out of normal position. And that will put a pressure on these spinal nerves, causing inflammation, irritation. And that will lead to pain, ache, and dysfunction in your body, much like low back pain, headaches, or upper thoracic pain that you have. In your children, we can even see ADHD in them. Okay. And this whole spine dysfunction and the misalignment of the bone, we call that a subluxation.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you? So essentially, as a chiropractor in your office, we are specialized in finding where your subluxation is, going in and correct that. Because ultimately, we not only want to help you relieve your upper thoracic pain, but we want to see where the root cause of your problem is, which is subluxation. At the same time, we have to do something about the structure,
Okay.
right? And normally, when the structure is like this, the spinal cord is nice and relaxed, sitting in the spinal column like that, nice and relaxed. However, when you start to straighten up, what happens to the spinal cord is that it starts to tighten up. Do you want to feel it when it's tightened up?
Yeah, it's tight.
Yes. And when the spinal cord is in this state, do you think it's good or bad?
It's bad.
You're correct. And Ben, in our office, when we have a spinal dysfunction like yours with the upper cross syndrome, what we do is we're going to eat it. Eating by means of exercise, adjust, and traction.
Okay.
And we're gonna have 3 phases of care for you. The phase 1 is what we call the symptom phase, in which you're going to be adjusted, we're going to do decompression, and we're gonna have some PT modality for you. And we really want to bring that upper thoracic pain level down.
Okay.
After that, we're going to the corrective care, in which we're going to use these machines, right? They look like exercise machines. You saw them on your way in here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're really going to be using these to correct the structure of your neck, to improve the neck curve as much as possible to the optimal.
Okay.
And after that, we really don't want to see you anymore, right?
Okay.
We want to keep you out of the office, and in which we're going to be doing a stabilizing care phase for you, which we just want to maintain the progress.
Okay.
Okay? So overall, your symptom care, we would like to see you 3 times a week for 3 weeks. You okay with that?
Yes.
Corrective care 3 times a week for 6 weeks.
Okay.
And then for the stabilizing care, once once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay, and then after all the first round of care, we're gonna do a reevaluation, in which you're really going to get this posture report again. Okay, and you're going to compare that with your current results right now. That's why I'm gonna have you keep this, so you have a record of where you are right now. Okay. And besides that, we really want to make sure you can also heal while you're at home. That's why we're going to have home exercise for you, right? Specifically doing the chin tuck, as well as the standing facing the wall and push off. That's really going to help you relieve on top of the treatment you get here. All right, and that's going to be 3 times a day and 10 repetitions each set. And it's all written right here. You can take this home with you.
Okay.
All right. And also the science really shows that knowledge helps the process of healing. Okay. The more you understand about your condition, upper cross syndrome, the better is that you're gonna heal. That's why we print out this handout. Feel free to read it and know about your condition. That's gonna help you a lot. Okay. And Ben, I understand that a lot of people, they have other commitments. They have appointments for other things. You might not be able to commit to the care. But I just want to point out that if we don't do this, what could happen is that your pain could potentially get worse. Okay. And your posture will not get better. And there's a high chance that your spine will continue to degenerate.
Okay.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes. So I just want to give you that information so you can make an informed decision with what you want to do.
Okay.
Any questions?
No.
Great. Welcome to the clinic. Ben, you are doing great.